We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, so I'll intentionally put papers on his keyboard and make sure they're crooked because he will pay attention to those very fast that way.
You're talking about Mr. Schaefer, right?
Oh yeah, Mr. Schaefer, because he's so OCD about things like that. Mm-hmm.
I hide in the teacher's lounge sometimes so the kids think I'm not here.
Threaten them with assignments that I'm actually not going to give them, but it helps with behaviors. So if I tell them, hey, I've got a huge assignment ready to go, anyone that misbehaves gets it. It usually works with their behavior, but I really don't have an assignment for them to do.
We listen, but we don't judge.
When we get to the end of the trimester, because I'm an elective teacher, if there's not enough time to get that last test into the grade book, I just chuck it away. Don't even bother with it, especially if I know it's not going to affect their overall grade drastically.
I don't tell my students this, but when I get a homemade treat that they bring me, I say, ooh, it looks so delicious. And then when they're gone, I throw it in the garbage.
I do that too.
We listen and we don't judge.
Well, I guess one thing I do is try to gaslight them as much as possible to get them to believe things that are untrue because they try to gaslight me. And then, then I think it's hilarious when they figure out I've been gaslighting them.
I tell them all the time I make stories.
Okay.
But I tell people about that.
Okay, what's something?
Like Mr. Crompton and I are stepbrothers, or I'm the Northwest hide and seek champion.
And you tell the students this.
Oh yeah.
And they believe you.
Yes. You just have to hold a straight face.
Sometimes when I can't remember kids' names, I give them a nickname and then they have a nickname for life.
Okay. How do I start this?
Just start.
Sorry. So when my students say inappropriate things, sometimes I laugh out loud and don't tell them it's not inappropriate.
Yep.
Okay, the thing I do is I hit my siren or my air horn to make the kids jump.
Sometimes when I get requests to change classes, I check those suckers in the garbage.
We listen and we don't judge.
Sometimes I spray smelly goods around to make teachers happy.
Oh.
And then I don't do it again because I can get in trouble.
I disassociate during my prep hour sometimes and watch Facebook Reels.
We listen and we don't judge.
Oh, I told them that we had a hot tub upstairs.
On the roof?
Well, no, we had an upstairs in the school.
Oh.
And they believed it.
I wake up later than my kids. They get themselves ready for bed and school, and I don't do anything.
So I've lied to the students and told them I have hidden cameras in my room so that they'll behave for the sub.
Sometimes I ask our students if they want to go for a walk because I want to go for a walk.
We listen,
but we don't judge.
I gotta think. What's this for?
and maybe it's funny. Or maybe in the naughty list.
I don't have it. Oh my god. Okay. Believe it or not, I do not drink coffee every day.
So I have students sometimes tell super inappropriate jokes that are really funny, and I find myself having to turn at the wall so I don't laugh out loud, and then I run to my desk and I write it down so I can tell it later to my friends, but then I get onto the student for telling an inappropriate joke. It happens.
Sometimes I stop and chit-chat with the secretaries because I don't want to deal with my real job.
We listen, but we don't judge.
Okay, so something I do in my classroom when someone's clay piece accidentally breaks, I'll blame it on another student and say they accidentally bumped it over, but in reality, it was not on purpose, but it happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Listen but don't judge. I actually have a piece of paper in my window out to the playground field calling every single one of my students nerds. They all knock on my window thinking I'm not in the room, and then I knock back, scaring all of them.
Nice.
We listen, but we don't judge.
So one of the questions I get a lot is, why are we reading in science? Or why are we doing math in science? And I love when that question comes up, because I tell them, because science is in everything. There's reading in science, there's science in reading. There's math in science, there's science in math. Science is in everything. That's why it's the best subject.
Sometimes at work, I ask Matt to do things for me, and he gives me the stare like, oh, you can just do it yourself. But I'm his wife, not just his coworker, so I feel like I should get special treatment sometimes.
So there's two things that I do. One is if a student comes up to me and has like a really complicated problem or something that also just seems really simple but is complicated to them, I'll tell them that seems like a you thing, which is always very upsetting to them, and then they figure it out. And then the other thing is I will always tell kids that I will take away their recess, and I have yet to take away a recess.
Well, I threaten to write them up, and then I don't write them up. I mean, that's not funny. But
sometimes I just tell it as how it is, and I call the kids assholes to their face.
Sometimes I tell the children that the chair in my room that they can sit in that's comfy is for them, but really it's for me when I need to take a nap.
All right, I got it. Okay. All right, so that's something that I do that I guess not a lot of people would know is that I try to use my age as an advantage in the class, and so when they like say those weird phrases like skippity or riz or sigma, I like say it back to them, and then normally they get all grossed out, and then even though I'm like closer to their age, they either get grossed out and then they stop saying it, or it makes the problem worse for me. But most of the time, it's the first option.
Nice.
So.
Even though our key fobs don't work yet, every day when I walk from the parking lot to the door, I still beep it anyways.
Okay, we listen and we don't judge. I know every day we have deer time and we drop everything and read, but during that time, I drop everything and rest. We listen and we don't judge.
Sometimes I avoid certain people's classrooms or offices, Angela, on purpose so that I don't get distracted from working, because I'd probably spend like an hour or longer talking about life instead of doing my job. Don't tell Angela.
It's just the staff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes kids ask me to check camera for random stuff. I tell them that I do, but I really didn't. But telling them that I do helps them feel better.